What happens when one of America's most vital industries is pushed to the brink? A legal storm is sweeping across California's highways, and its impact is shaking the very foundation of logistics. Hold tight, what you're about to hear will make you question everything. You've seen the headlines, but have you truly understood what's unfolding right now? The trucking industry in California is crumbling. 70,000 independent truckers gone, and it's happening as if you care about supply chains, the economy, or the survival of American logistics, you need to hear the truth. This isn't a temporary slowdown. This is an exodus, a massive departure of those who keep our freight moving. The question everyone's asking is, how did it come to this? It all began in a courtroom, but it didn't end with a dramatic verdict. Instead, it started a chain of events that sent shockwaves through every dispatch center in California. Companies like Landstar, the giant of the freight industry, started sending out warnings. California's become a liability, they said, and it wasn't just about a new rule or a fleeting risk. This was an entire industry forced into a corner. Every single day, more businesses and independent operators made the same painful decision: get out or face financial disaster. These weren't just drivers, they were small business owners. Many who had invested decades of work and millions of dollars into their rigs. One week they're hauling goods, and the next, their phones go silent. A huge part of California's freight system suddenly disappears overnight. Why did this happen? The reason goes back to a piece of legislation that rocked the state. Bill 5, signed into law in 2019. It introduced the ABC test to determine whether a worker is an independent contractor or an employee. It sounds simple, right? But the implications have been anything but. The test is meant to protect workers, but for truckers, it's a trap. The problem lies in prong B, which says that the work must be outside the usual course of the hiring company's business. For truckers, this is an impossible standard. The trucking companies they work with, their business is hauling freight. The law assumes that if a trucker is hauling freight for a carrier, they're an employee, and that's where everything breaks down. Suddenly, truckers who had spent years, even decades, building their own businesses are faced with a choice: become an employee and lose everything they built, or walk away from everything. Just about a job anymore, it's about survival. And so 70,000 truckers, many of them owner-operators with their own rigs, decided to leave. But their departure isn't just about financial ruin for them. It's a disaster that will echo through California's economy for years to come. You may be asking, what exactly does this mean for the economy? Well, the effects are already visible. The trucking industry doesn't just keep California running, it keeps America running. California ports handle 40% of the nation's imports. When those trucks stop moving, goods stop flowing. And it's not just the truckers who are feeling the heat. Fuel stations are shutting down across the state. In fact, 473 gas stations closed their doors in January alone. This is a direct result of Senate Bill 445, which required gas stations to upgrade their underground storage tanks to meet new standards. But the program designed to support these small business owners stalled. The bureaucratic red tape and endless paperwork made it nearly impossible to comply. Without these stations, long-haul truckers have no fuel to get their loads across the state. And what about the emergency responders, the fire trucks, the ambulances? They now have to drive 30 miles to refuel, adding crucial minutes to their response times. It doesn't end there. Refineries, which fuel these trucks, are also closing down. In 2025, California saw 2 of its biggest refineries close their doors. The impact: a loss of 17% of the state's total refining capacity. This is no longer just a local issue, it's a nationwide problem. The math is simple: fewer trucks, fewer fuel stations, higher fuel costs. California's logistics infrastructure, once the most sophisticated in the nation, is disintegrating. And in its place, chaos is beginning to spread. At first, it was just a matter of economic pressure, but now it's become a complete logistical collapse. Goods that were once delivered with precision are now delayed, rerouted, or lost altogether. Retailers are seeing gaps in inventory, and manufacturers are paying a premium to move raw materials. Across the state, this is a problem that goes far beyond California's borders. The ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach, the backbone of American commerce, are facing delays. Freight companies are already rerouting operations to Texas and the East Coast, and the ripple effects of this collapse will be felt across the nation. Question now isn't just about whether this will disrupt California's economy, it's about how long it will take for other states to notice. California's dominance in logistics is being slowly replaced by its competitors. States like Texas, Florida, and Georgia are stepping in, investing heavily to capture the market share California is losing. How did California's state leaders allow this to happen? The policies that once were meant to regulate and protect workers have now become the very laws that are pushing vital industries out of the state. And the most shocking part, this didn't happen with a bang. It happened quietly over the course of months, as small decisions built up into a full-scale crisis. So where do we go from here? The damage is done, but it's not too late for California to make changes. The real question is, will the state take action before the logistics collapse becomes irreversible? The next few months will determine the future of California's economy, whether it can ever regain its place as the nation's logistics hub. For the truckers who've already left, there's no turning back. Once those trucks leave, they don't return. The question is, will California ever realize what it lost before it's too late? If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Winds of Thought. What do you think California should do to recover? Share your thoughts in the comments below. This crisis is far from over. Let's keep the conversation going.